It's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, and it's time for...
A Craig and Ryland Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
Welcome back to another review show right here on...
Magic TV.
Absolutely. This is the first one that we filmed since our little break. We had a bit of a break, didn't we? First one we filmed since the break. I'm excited to be back. Are you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you look very excited. You look very excited. He's very excited. This is his excited face. He's just waiting to watch VR, aren't you? I've promised him VR for the film review show, so he's thinking about Gorilla Tag right now. So we're going to have to blaze through this. So we're going to have to blaze through this. And we're going to start off with what a lot of people are saying is one of the hottest tricks of Blackpool 2025. In fact, I actually put this on my list as one of the best tricks of Blackpool 2025. We're going to start off with Heavy Metal by Chris James. So like I said, the first review is Heavy Metal by Chris James, which is based on Heavy Phone. If you don't know, Jam Miranda brought out Heavy Phone.
Jam Miranda?
Jam Miranda.
Joel Miranda,
No, it's Jam.
Jam.
Yeah, I just spent a few days with him in Portugal.
Oh.
Yeah. So Jam Miranda brought out Heavy Metal, which was presented by Caleb Morelli.
I thought you always said Joel Miranda.
No, it's not Joel, it's Jam.
Oh.
And it's and Heavy Phone was a solid through solid penetration, a little bit like the old Matchbox penetration, Industrial Revelation, the thing Hanson Shen brought out. There's lots of different Hollywood. That's it. There's lots of different versions that have come out over the years, and Heavy Phone came out a few years ago, and Heavy Metal was a reimagining of this concept by Chris James and your friend Julio Montoura. And Julio Montoura and Chris James basically went to jail at the same time with this idea of doing a penetration solid through solid with headphones. Now, you have been doing this an awful lot. Mm-hmm. In fact, when we went to Drew Perry's birthday party, you were literally there as a guest, but you're running around the whole night just showing people this trick. There were two tricks you were doing. I can't remember what the other one was.
Big Blind.
Big Blind. Oh, yeah, Big Blind. It was Big Blind, and it was this. And this is great. Like, this is such a good close-up trick. This is actually a trick that made Ryland go, I'm going to start doing more close-up gigs. Like, this is such a great trick. In fact, if you haven't seen it, let's look at a quick performance of Ryland doing it so you can see exactly what the effect is.
Now, lots of people use their AirPods to listen to music. Others use it to listen to podcasts or just anything they're watching. Now, what's really cool is I'm going to show you something using AirPods, but I also need the key. So I do have somewhere a key. Where is it? Got it, right, here. Right, so I have a key, I have some headphones. Now I want you to watch something, because as well as the key, I'm also going to need some Spotify here. Okay, there you go, I'm going to play a nice relaxing song here. Now it's really cool, is you can actually take the song and push it into the headphones. Now it's a nice relaxing song, and it can make you sad, it can make you soft, and you can actually, because it makes you a little bit soft, it's that soft, you can push the key into it like that. But as soon as I pull the key out...
Show me the other side.
Now that's a relaxing song. But as well, I can also get some heavy metal. Now what's cool about this is I can push it back into here. We don't need that anymore. But you can see it really is metal. But not only that, it is, when I get it out, heavy metal.
What? Let me see. How? So, right, talk to me about this, right? How practical is this?
It's very, very good.
Because the way you presented it, the way that they've just seen, is you bring your headphones out, you show the headphones, and then you talk about listening to music on your phone, and you're kind of like changing the music, and that's causing the key to penetrate through the headphones.
That's what I do. That's what I do quite a lot, but I sometimes do it without the phone.
So what's the other way you can do it? Could you?
They don't mention it on the tutorial, but I just like show the headphones, show them that they're real, and then I take out the key and I push it through the key, push the key through, and then when I take it out, it's metal.
Okay. So how important is it to show that they're normal headphones beforehand.
Well,
because
if you don't show them, then it's going to be like, well, it's kind of metal the whole time, won't it? But if you show
is that a bad thing? Like, that's still a good trick. Like, look,
yeah,
I've got these
when you show
headphones.
it's better when you show the headphones are in there and they're real.
Okay, because then you've got so first of all, you've got there's really two effects. The first effect is a penetration of the key through the headphones, and then you've got the second effect of the headphones turning into solid metal. But if you didn't, I'm just thinking for people that are watching this that maybe, I mean, you do a crossing the gaze switch when you switch the headphones, don't you? So you do like a quantum reads crossing the grey switch. But for people that maybe haven't got much experience at sleight of hand or whatever, surely you could do it just by saying, look, I've got my headphones here. Watch, I'm going to try and penetrate my headphones through the...
yeah, but it's not as good.
Yeah, but it's still a...
No, what you could do is you could just show the headphones and say, now as well as the headphones, somewhere I've got a key, and just hold them in your pocket. Oh, here's the key. Right, okay. No, just do it like that.
Okay, but there are other options.
Yeah, there's loads of other options that are easier than that.
So when do you think it's more appropriate to use the phone over just doing it? Like...
in a less busier sort of game.
So like when you're running around and you've got like 1,000 people to go and do magic to, and you're running around quickly and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, don't do the phone then.
Okay. Now, what's the reset like? It's not an instant reset, is it?
No, it's just... done.
Okay, but you couldn't... Right, the point I'm trying to make, you couldn't do that in front of an audience.
No.
So, in terms to reset the trick, it's about 20 seconds?
I mean, you could.
Yeah, but then you'd pretty much give the trick away.
No, not like that.
Okay, thank you very much for watching the trick. Hang on, 1 minute.
No, it's like, well, there you go. You can see it's real metal. I'm just going to put that back in there. Now, is there something... I'm doing it right now. Is there something else you wanted to see?
Yeah, I don't think you can do it in front of a real
You
audience.
probably could.
It would be easier to do the reset as you walk away, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes about 20 seconds to reset as you walk away.
20 seconds.
How long then?
Like 10.
10 seconds.
7.
7. Takes about 7. It's not 3.
7.
Takes about 7 to 10 seconds as you walk away from the audience. But you do need to have something else with you to reset it, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. But that can be something that you just keep in your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Angles? Are there any angles?
Not really.
Okay. How easy is it?
Very easy.
Okay. What's the impact like on an audience?
Very, very big. When you take some normal headphones, push a key through the headphones, while there's headphones in there. Then the headphones turn into a big heavy metal block. That's going to be pretty good.
yeah. In all fairness, that is actually amazing. Anything else to say? It's a perfect everyday carry, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You said you were going to carry these around as your everyday carry. Have you, or are you, or are you not?
I'm gonna, yeah.
You're going to.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I brought them to Stu's party, because they were an everyday carry.
Okay, so you do have them on you.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's good that sometimes everyday carries are great as an everyday carry, but they're not good enough to do in a gig. This is definitely one that you could do in a gig.
Yeah.
It's not really a stage piece. No. Anything else you want to add?
Not really.
Man, a few words. What would you give it?
100.
100%?
Yeah.
100% for heavy metal from
Well,
Ryland. Well, I've actually bought my own as well. I've actually got one as well. And I'm going to give this 100% as well. I think this is amazing. I've always been a big fan of Industrial Revelation. The problem for me with Industrial Revelation is it's incredibly heavy. And I had the same problem with Metal Phone.
It's supposed to be heavy?
Yeah, but these are heavy, but not too heavy. Like, Industrial Revolution was so heavy that it used to just rip my jacket pocket open. This, I can just put it in my jeans pocket, and it's nowhere near as bad. Yeah, it's like
your jeans are going to fall down if you put them in your pocket.
I hope not. But yeah, I mean, I think this is the best of the penetrations. I do very much like Solid Condom. No, you've not seen that yet.
What's a solid condom?
You take some condoms and you push it.
What's a condom?
You know exactly what a condom is.
I don't.
You've done sex ed.
Yeah, I don't know what a condom is though.
You don't know what a condom is? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You really don't?
No.
But you've done sex ed?
Yeah.
Are you telling me you've done sex ed, but they didn't tell you what a condom is?
No.
Should we get into this not on a review show? Or would you like me to have the conversation with you about condoms now?
Let's do it later.
Let's do it later, shall we? Jesus Christ. Okay. Hasn't your mum had a... Forget it.
No.
Haven't I?
No.
We very open up. We never spoke about... You'd have no idea what... You're just saying this to make me...
No, I don't. I seriously
You really
don't. I seriously don't. I heard it, but I don't know what it is.
I'm giving this 100%. I think this is amazing. He's giving it 100%. I'm going to go and have a little talk with Ryland now. Okay, so I've just clued Ryland in on what condoms are, so now we're going to move on. And the next trick we're going to be looking at is the Viking coin tray. The Viking coin tray. He really
it goes well with the Viking coin vanish.
Yeah, although you actually, you're about to see a performance of Ryland doing this. You use the Viking coin vanishing stand in Clonk on your stage show, but you used for this performance to camera the coin vanishing stand that you get in the David Regal Silver Transit routine. But it doesn't come with a...
I like Viking stand more.
Yeah, it doesn't come with a stand. It doesn't come with that. It doesn't even have a tutorial, to be perfectly honest.
What?
It has one sheet of A4 instructions.
Oh, okay.
And on those instructions,
It tells you
how the coin tray works, and it teaches you 3 different routines. 3 very simple routines.
What
The routine, well, basically, it's just like, look, you're holding some coins now. You've got more coins, or there's one where they're all kind of much of muchness. The one that you're doing is the final routine, or a smaller version of the final routine. Not quite. So let's. But immediately when you saw this, you were like, "This is so going into my act." Let's have a look at a performance of this first of all. So this is Ryland doing the Viking coin tray on his sister.
Okay, so I'm here with my sister Thea. Say hi. Hi. Now I have 10 coins here. So what I want you to do is I want you to take these coins and one by one count them out loud onto this silver plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. So 10 coins. So we have these 10 coins here. Now, what I'm going to do is I want you to cup your hands like you're catching rainwater. Yeah. Okay? And I'm going to pour these coins into your hand and you're going to catch them all, okay? Yeah? Is that cool? You're going to take one. There you go. You got them all? Yep. Yep? Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to take 3 of the coins out. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and take the rest and cup your hands together. Yep, so they're nice and safe. Yep. So you now have. So how many coins did you count on the tray? 10. 10. And I took 3 away. So how many? 3 take away 7. How many is that? No, 3 take away 10. 7. 10 take away 3. 7. Okay. Right. So we have. You should have 7 in your hand. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these coins, like this, one by one. So first of all, take the first one. I want you to watch this coin right here. Watch. And just keep your hand closed. Keep your hand closed there. And the second one, just like this. Like that. Now that should, hopefully, mean you have 9 coins in your hand. And hopefully the final one, right here. Like that. Once again, count them one by one onto that tray. Yep. 1. Count them out loud. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What?
Okay, so tell me why you love this so much, right? I mean, I will say to you, Ryland had never seen this coin tray before. This has only just been re-released by Viking Magic through Murphy's to all magic dealers. But the coin tray has been around forever. I have seen lots of different coin trays. I'm telling you, right, this is the best coin tray that I've ever seen. Like,
really?
It's amazing. The quality is brilliant. So can you tell...
I like it a lot.
Tell everyone why you like it so much, why you think it would work in a show, and what you're planning on doing with it.
It works a lot because it fooled me first time I saw it.
Yeah, you had no idea, did you?
Yeah. I think it would work in a show. I'm probably going to put this in my show.
Well, I challenged you recently to put together, because Ryland shows are famously massive. Like, you have to take a van to do a 15-minute act. But I challenged you to put together a 45-minute set that you could do out of 1 silver cabaret case.
1 silver. Yeah, that's true.
And you said that this is going to be part of that show.
Yeah.
Because literally, if you're going to do what you saw Ryland do, it's just the coins tray, 13 coins. Sorry, giving something away there, 13 coins. and a stand. That's it. Although you don't need to do the stand, you could use sleight of hand. But what I like about it was your idea to use the stand. What I like about using the stand is it really makes the vanishes very, very clean, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like it really makes the vanishes really clean. I think this would play really, really well. You get a spectator up on stage, they count the coins. I think there'd be a lot of audience interaction. You all count the coins with me. It feels a bit like Clonk, but without the bucket. It feels like the Conk routine, but patter-based.
Yeah.
And without the
with
music.
More coins.
Yeah, with more coins, but without the bucket. What's better, Clonk or this? Because with Clonk, it's kind of a piece to music and it's beautiful.
I like both.
But with this, it's kind of more of an interactive thing. They're holding on to the coins.
Yeah, I like both.
Do you?
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. Is it something, and this is a question I want to know from you, is this something that people are watching you could do close up?
Probably.
Technically, you could carry this around close up.
But not, you wouldn't want to. You would probably prefer to just
It would
use hand vanish.
Yeah, I don't think you'd take the stand.
No.
I think if you were going to do this close up, it would probably fit into a jacket pocket, an outside jacket pocket. You'd probably walk over to the table with the tray.
You can use the $50 for an actual coin trick as well.
Yeah, because people can look at the tray, can't they? People can look at the tray, can't they? I think if you were going to do that routine, you'd walk up to the table and you'd put the tray down on the table.
Yeah.
You'd then do whatever routines you want to do, and when you want to do this, you'd reach into your pocket, bring out a purse, and maybe take out like $5 or $6 $50, drop them on the tray one at a time, get somebody to hold on to them, and then maybe you take the coins out of your pocket and do a vanish from the coins out of your pocket and they'd appear in their spectator's hand. So technically you could do this close up. This is kind of a great trick for stage, for parlour, for cabaret. It's completely self-working. The way that you did it on that performance video is completely self-working.
Yeah.
No, did we actually say, let's have a look at a performance? I'm sure we did we?
If we didn't, let's put it in now.
Yeah, if we didn't, let's put it in now. So if you've just seen a performance, it means that we're idiots. However, you might have just seen us look at a camera for a couple of seconds. Either way, we're idiots. But yeah, it's completely self-working. There's no skill to do the routine that Ryland did at all. However, you could have it as part of a longer routine. I wonder what you could do if you had two of these. I think it'd be quite interesting. They have got some routines in the sheet of instructions that do use sleight of hand. Like there's ways of switching coins, so your thumb holds one of the coins in the tray while you tip the others out. So it's kind of switching one coin for one and stuff like that. So it's kind of an interesting approach. I think this is the sort of thing that I would love to sit down with and come up with like 7 or 8 routines. You might be seeing a Hows and Whys of a coin tray coming up soon, because I think there's a lot more.
Instead of making them vanish, what if you had it? So you put them in, so you counted them onto the tray.
Yeah.
Put the coins into their hand, and then put the tray back. Take one of them out and say count the coins onto the tray again, and leave that coin on the table. Then do it again, and then they count the coin. You take one out and put it on the table. They count the coins and they've still got 10. And then do it one more time. You take one and you count the coins and they've still got 10. So you release the coins one at a time.
Okay, you could do that. Yeah, that'd be quite good. And you can have up to 4 coins in there. So you don't have to have 3. You can have up to 4 coins in there. You can have 4. That's what you've just described there. It's kind of a little bit like a 3-card trick, but with 4 coins. Yeah. Like a 5-card trick. Like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. If I take one away, I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's sort of similar sort of thing. Yeah, that's a really good idea. You and me, we'll have to get together, come up with the Hows and Whys of the coin tray.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's great. If you're looking for something to add, I think this would also work really well in a kids show.
Yeah.
I think kids would love this. You get a kid to, and you know what you could do if you didn't want to have a kid to come up and hold them? You could actually have like a wine glass on the table, and you could take the coins and drop them onto the tray one at a time, and then tip them into the wine glass. I think that would look quite good. Yeah. And that would still achieve the same thing. So lots of different ways to approach it.
I mean, that means you could do it on stage. So I was already going to do it on stage. If you had a wine glass, you wouldn't need a spectator.
You wouldn't need a spectator. You could just pour them into the wine glass, and they'd never be able to see how many are in there, which is really cool. Yeah, I love this. I bought one for myself and one for Ireland. I'm going to do it as well. He's going to do it. I'm giving this 100%. What about you?
I'm going to give it 100% plus tuning.
100% plus tuning. That's a really good mark. We've had 2 great tricks. 100 from each one. 100 from you, 100 from me. Let's move on to trick number 3. Next one is called Spinception. Okay, so next up we have Spinception by Hypothesis Magic and Han Jun. Now this got released at the Blackpool Magic Convention and sold out, like I think at the end of day one. Everybody, everybody was saying, "Oh my God, you got to go over and you got to see Spinception. It's so cool." And after Blackpool, I saw so many people doing this on social media. Like Ella Rose did it on social media. Loads of people that normally do videos on social media.
I only think it's just. I don't think. Like, how much was this?
And we had so many people ask us to review it. I picked it up from TCC after Blackpool, and I think it was like 200 quid or something. It's not a cheap trick at all.
Why spend 200 quid for a trick that you're only ever going to do on Instagram or like social media?
Well, let's have that debate in a second. Let's have a look at the performance first of all. So, if you don't know what this is, and you've not got any clue what the effect is, this is Ryland performing it for social media.
My favourite spell is Wingardium Leviosa. And for those who don't know, that's a spell from Harry Potter. I want to show you something really cool using that spell. Watch this. See, it doesn't just make things fly. It can actually make things spin around like this. And this can spin for as long as I want it to, which is pretty cool. What?
Okay, so before we debate whether this is any good or not, let me ask you a couple of questions. What's the tutorial like?
Tutorial's okay.
Yeah, it goes through everything?
Yeah.
Live performances?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, very good. And in terms... Right, okay, I was going to ask more questions, but I think everyone's going to want to know. You don't think this is practical for the real world? Why not?
Well, because...
Isn't it easy to do?
I can't really... Yeah, no.
Go on, why is it not easy to do?
Because, first of all, because you can't just...
I think we have to... We don't want to expose it, but I think we do have to talk about why you think it's impractical. So, this is not a walk-around piece, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
This is
not. I don't think you can do it on stage either.
No, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But in order to prepare this trick, the way that they suggest doing it on the tutorial, you have to have something that's about the size of this box.
Stuck underneath the table.
And you have to have it stuck under the table. So,
it's massive.
You couldn't do this.
You got to somehow, and you only supplied 2 stickers anyway, but like you could probably want more. But they're got to be really good double-sided.
Yeah, so he's talking about stickers because they have these suction stickers.
Not suction stickers. They're just double-sided stickers.
Okay, that allow you to stick this to the underside of the table.
So you only get 2, so basically you get 2 attempts. They say you can reuse them, but you know the one I did at Drake Manor yesterday?
Yeah.
I used it for there, because we were going to film it there, but we just couldn't because the tables were thick. That one lost its... I put the protection back on it so it wouldn't be so sticky.
Yeah.
But it turns out it already dried out.
Okay, fair enough.
So you only get like...
So you'd have to get more of those from somewhere.
Yeah. And
so talk to me about what... So you have to set this up underneath the table.
You get a big block, you turn it on, you press the button, and when you do that, it's going to spin. But you've got this whole massive area, and there's only like one tiny...
Well, hang on. Before you go to the one tiny thing, that's the first issue, that you've got to set this up at a table.
You've got to set this up.
So if you're a walk-around performer, if you're working in a restaurant, for example, pick one table, shove it under there, and hope somebody doesn't go and look under the table.
Oh,
because...
Yeah, what's this thing?
Is it still under there?
No, it's not.
Okay.
What's this thing?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
My knee. What was that?
So that's the first problem, that you've got to stick this underneath the table, and that's the only solution on the tutorial that they come up with. Whack this under a table, which is great for somewhere like the Blackpool Magic Convention. They can have that just stuck underneath the table, and as people are walking past, they can be doing this, and it's not a problem. Like, and I'm going to make a point in a bit about one place that I do think this is practical, but
if you hold this under the table,
no,
how bad it is.
No, I don't want to see how bad it is.
No, they can see.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But what were you talking about one particular area?
Anyway, so once it's under the table, you've got this massive area where it's like a super magnet, and when you hold it under there, if you don't get the exact right spot, and if you're over here and things there, you'll think it's right because it starts spinning, but then it'll shoot off in a random direction. And if you get it above, it shoots off in a random... There's like only one spot in this massive area that's going to be tiny and it's only going to work. And it's nearly impossible to find, but really hard to find. And when you get that area, because it's not like you can walk over to the table, put your hand on, put the coin on, and then bam, it starts spinning.
Because first of all, you need to press the remote control.
Yeah, anyway, if you do
just try and keep it on the
if you
whole
walk
time.
over, press the remote control, and it's on, and then you can't just put your hand on, put the coin on, and it starts spinning. You just can't do that. It's not like you can mark the part and then just go like that.
Right.
It's a lot harder than that. You've also got to find the right area. And if you want to turn the speed up, the only way to turn the speed up is by going onto the table and messing with the gimmick with your one hand. So it's like this, and you're onto the table going like this.
So you'd have to have the speed set before you do it?
Yeah, no, you can't just have the speed set. You've got to have it on there. You've got to have the right speed to get it the right speed to... Because if you have it too fast at the beginning, it won't start. And if you have it too slow, it won't start. You've got to have it just the right speed. And if you want to speed it up, you've got to reach into the table and turn it up yourself.
Okay. So it'll fly off all over the place. The other thing is table thickness.
Table thickness. Like, this is a not very thick table, and it won't work.
Well, it is quite a thick table, this is actually, and then you've got the cloth on top. But you were performing...
Drayton Manor wasn't anything.
Yeah, I was performing at
Drayton Manor was
Drayton
only like that big.
We were performing at Drayton Manor last night, and we tried to do it at one of their tables, and it just didn't work, did it? It wasn't working. So we've ended up using that table over there in the performance that you saw.
Next to the TV.
Next to the TV. And yeah, I mean, it is very unreliable in terms of... How many takes did we take in order to get that looking good for you?
Oh, well, we tried about, I'm going to say like 23 times at Drayton Manor. And then we tried many times over here. Like, to just set it up. We spent half an hour trying to film it here. Just like me setting it up and trying to get the right thing. And then we swapped over there and spent another 5 minutes trying to get it over
And
there.
that's not a lack of practice. Like, it's very unreliable. I have never seen one person use this in the real world. And for me, there's two issues with this. The first issue is the fact that you need to set it up under a table. The second issue is that it's... And I've played around with it as well. It's very... Now, maybe with more practice, it'll be easier. But it's quite unreliable in terms of getting it to spin accurately every single time without flying off. You have to find that one sweet spot, right? The other thing that you said after Drayton Manor is your hands were vibrating.
Oh, yeah. When you've done it for like ages, like trying to get the right spot, after you just turn it off and you gave up and you put it away, my hands felt like they were just going like this. And I looked at them and they were going like this. It leaves your hands with a vibration, you feel. Like your hands just like this.
Oh, that's funny.
Sometimes you look there, it's not, but your hand feels like it's going like this.
That's really funny. That's so funny. Okay, so I want to ask you. So here's the thing, right? If you could control the environment and you could make this work every single time, that's the key thing to me. Making this work every single time. Now we've only been playing around with this for about a week, so maybe it needs more practice. A lot of people are saying this is self-working. To get it reliable, because the problem is if you don't get it to do what you saw Ryland do in the performance video, where it just looks like it's spinning, it looks like a magnet. If you have it where it goes phew over there or something, it doesn't look magical. It looks like there's something going on, right? So if you could get this looking good, and I think that will require a bit of practice, and you can get it looking good every single time, I think there are places you could do this. So first of all, people that work wedding fairs, and you've got a table at a wedding fair, as long as you've got the right type of table, as a wedding fair, this would be absolutely amazing. Because you could just have people coming up and you could be spinning it and spinning it and spinning it. People who work trade shows, another place where that would work. You've got a static table set up. You can do that over and over again. Another place you could do this is bunco booths. If you run a bunco booth, that would also be a thing that you could do over and over again. Like sometimes you've done close-up in the past and you've used that table over there, or your table, you know, where you've got it on wheels, you've got a close-up table with the drawer in it. That you got from Sven, you could actually have that set up inside that table. So there are places that you could do this.
Yeah,
where
that
you
table's
can,
thick ass.
You could also
if you have a
maybe...
close-up pad on that, which is what you're going to need to perform, that's going to be like 2 times thicker than this.
The other thing that you could do is, could you set this up inside something? Like, for example, let me give you an example. Would the gimmick fit inside a shell from Henry Harrius, like a cube shell? And you just have a Rubik's Cube on the table, just randomly on the What about in a 7x7? That Cube Buster. You put it inside a Cube Buster.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and have no cube and a cube buster. You just have that on the table.
What, hollow out a cube, put a cube in there on top of the thing, then put the shell on so it doesn't come loose.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, isn't it? Oh yeah, let me just randomly not use this cube at all, put it here, and then let me just hold my hand above the cube for no reason while the cube's vibrating. The cube's just running around the table.
That's the other thing, there is a bit of noise, isn't there?
Yeah, like you got to have it under the table, because if it's on the floor, I was trying it on the floor at home, and it was like running across the floor. It was like running across the floor. It was like car.
So what are you giving this, Ryan?
Running across the floor.
What are you giving this?
Minus $1,000,000,000.
Wow.
Minus a tuning.
I'm not as offended as Ryland. I think if you spent a bit of time practicing this, I think it could be quite good.
No,
but in a wedding fair situation, in a trade show situation, for me, I'm never going to use this. This is a waste of money. But somebody might use it. It's just not. No, you don't. Don't you dare. But for me, it's not. It's not. I'm going to give it 30%. I think somebody could make it work.
Did you actually spend $200 on that?
Yes, I did, Ryland. Yes.
Can we return it? Barely used, because like it's not like I've wrecked it.
No, we can't. But anyway, no, that's not how magic works.
What?
You buy it. You know, you hope it's good.
Well, if it's not good, then we throw it.
I am putting it down here.
Why?
Let's move on.
Are you going to focus with him later?
Later.
No.
Let's move on.
Can I help you?
Yes.
I'll buy a catapult. Probably more use than that.
So the final review today.
Down, 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 down.
Final review today. We're going to be looking
Down,
at.
down, down.
I think you wanted to hurry.
Yeah, I did.
Final review today.
Down, down, down.
We're looking at dice.
Oh, hang on. You know that guy at the Drayton Manor that went ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
It's actually a song it goes, King China, ding, 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 ding. That's what he was saying.
I don't know. Let's look at the final review. Now, the final review today is called Dice Mind Sync, and it's by N2G. Okay. Yeah. Now, I'm going to talk to you about some good news about N2G and some bad news about N2G.
I'll sort it.
But first of all...
Sorry, the table.
Honestly, you get a level of professionalism here at Magic TV that's just unparalleled.
Right.
Dice Mind Sync by N2G. I've got some news about N2G, which I'll talk about in a minute. But first of all, this is kind of...
They're not filming their tutorials in a...
We'll find out in a minute. However, first of all, let's have a look at a performance. This is kind of a very interesting effect.
Now, aren't they?
Yeah, the tricks are getting a lot better. Let's have a look at a performance.
Okay, so I have this playing card here. Now this playing card, it is actually in sync with the dice. Because you see how the number's 6? This number's 6 as well.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it can't change unless it's like under something, which is why I have the envelope. So you put it in the envelope, you roll the die, and whatever number you roll it to, that's what it changes to. Okay? So roll the die to whatever number you want.
You want me to roll the die?
Yeah, to whatever number.
Okay. A 5. I'm happy with the 5.
Are you happy with the 5? And you can actually see when I pull the
No way.
card out, it's actually a 5.
Is there something else in that envelope?
No, there's nothing else in the envelope. We can do it again if you want. Do you want to do
Yes, do it again. Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again. Do it again.
Roll the die. Roll the die.
Roll the die. Roll the die. Rolling the die. I don't see that. What is it?
It's a 2.
2. I'm
You
happy
happy
with
with
that.
the
I'm delighted with the 2.
It's a 2.
No!
And like you can see, there's nothing in the envelope.
One more time.
One more time.
One more time.
Again. You want again? Okay. One last time. You roll the die.
I'm rolling the die.
You roll the die.
Rolling the die.
1.
Want to roll it again?
Roll it again.
No, 6. Yes, I want it to go back to a 6.
You want to? We'll go back to the 6. Okay. You can see when I put it out, it is a 6.
What?
What?
So, first of all, that's a bloody good trick. I really like that trick, and we'll talk about it in a second. First of all,
this trick.
the trick that we're literally reviewing. However, there's good news and there's a bad news
You just
situation.
pointed over there and said, that's a good trick.
Good news, bad news situation when it comes to N2G, when it comes to their tutorials. The good news is they're no longer filming them in the penthouse apartment of a hotel room.
Yay!
Yeah, in fact, they're at a table, and they've got a nicely lit table, and they're going through everything, and there's a nice close over the shoulder camera. no live performances, but they've got this really nice tutorial going on. The problem is, the way to access the tutorials from N2G is to go to a particular page on the website, right? And then when you go to the page on the website, you look at the particular trick that you want to learn, and there's a YouTube link. So you click on it, and it'll take you to YouTube, or you can watch it because it's embedded, and you can learn the trick. The problem is, embedded, it means you put, it doesn't matter.
Is chicken in bed? I know bed.
The problem is, here's the problem. N2G forgot to add a captions option to YouTube. Now, normally, if a trick is made from a country that don't particularly speak English, they'll include captions at the bottom, so you can read the captions and you can learn how the trick's done. I've looked at 3 N2G tricks today, and none of them have got captions enabled on the YouTube videos, which means I spent 20 minutes watching this tutorial, and I basically had to watch it and guess what they were talking about. There were moments where there was just like a guy holding a card for 5 minutes, just talking, and I couldn't understand a word he was saying. There were no captions on the screen.
He's probably saying, don't do this or this or this, and you just done them all.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, right? And that's the problem that I have with this particular trick. The problem I have is the way that Ryland performed it. That's how we think it should be done. However, you get, and the card that Ryland was using is a gimmicked card. You get an ungimmicked card as well. However, and I was watching the video, and there's this moment where there's the ungimmicked card underneath the envelope, and there's something that's happening, but I couldn't figure out what it was. I rewound that section like 4 or 5 times. I just couldn't understand what they were trying to say. So the way that Ryland performed it might not be the best way to perform. I'm also going to say, as part of this review, one of the problems with it is the card can't be examined. It might be examinable. I don't know. You do get an examinable card with it, but it's a 6 spot, and it's only a 6 spot, and the gimmicked card allows you to show any spot on it. So how you switch that in, I don't know. I have no idea. If N2G could switch on captions, that would make things a lot easier. But as it stands, you have to be aware that if you buy this trick, the tutorial is worse than anything I've seen before, because you basically just have to watch and guess what's happening. Now, other than that, the trick itself is really good. Do you want to describe the gimmick card? Without exposure, just talk about it.
It's just a card, and there's a little thing on the back that's like, you know the tricks where you can like take a hole and you got all these little invisible thread things. This one's not invisible thread. It's just like one of them little knobs that you move around.
And it'll allow you to
It allows you to show 6 and 1, and in the middle 3, and the opposite 4, then a 2 and a 1. No, not a 1, a 5.
So in other words, you can show any number on the card. So there's a few different ways that you can do this. You can put the card in the envelope like Ryland did, have them roll a die and take out the card, and the card has changed to that number. You can put it back in, get them to roll the die again, and it's changed that number. You can do that as many times as you want to. You can do it as a prediction trick, where you talk about how you've got a prediction in the envelope. They throw the die.
Yeah, it'd be good if they put some magnets in. So you put the six magnets on the bottom, then 1 magnet on the dot, so you can move it around and it would actually stick into place.
Yeah, that would be really good, actually. It would be a great finale if you just did it as a prediction. It'd be a great finale to do with like a mental die routine. So you could have like an envelope that you put down on the table, and you say, look, I'm going to do this 3 times. The final time, I'm going to prove to you I knew ahead of time what you were going to do. And they throw the mental die, and you tell them the number, and then the final time, they don't even look at the number themselves. You obviously know it, and then you pull the card out, and the card is actually the die, the number that they've actually rolled that they didn't look at. I think that would be absolutely brilliant. In terms of other routines, there's other things on the tutorial. I didn't really follow what they were. But yeah, I mean, the only negative that I would have with this is the card works really well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think you'd want to have... Would they want to examine the card? Because the card, you can't look at it from the back, can they? You can flash the back, but they can't...
If you go like that, you can probably flash
But you couldn't, like, give them the card and have them look at the back. They'd immediately know what's going on.
Unless you give them an ungimmick card.
Well, you have got an ungimmick card, but I'm not really too sure how to do that.
I think I know, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you could use...
I think I know.
Go on. Well, don't tell me. Tell me.
It's just a double backer.
Yeah, but they're not supplied with double backer. But yeah, with the deck.
If you get a double backer and a deck, then...
Yeah. Potentially. I mean, they were doing the switch with just the envelope, but I couldn't really see what was going on.
They didn't have subtitles.
No, exactly. But as it is, it's right. The gimmick works really well. If you're a mentalist, I think this is a really nice prediction trick. If you're a magician, I love the idea of the symbiotic relationship between the card and the die. I think that's really good as well.
I like it, yeah.
I would actually see myself doing this, and I'm actually going to show this to Matt, because Matt does mental die all the time. I think that he would really like doing this and having a final prediction. Yeah, it's good. I think it's really good. Beware of the tutorial, but I'm going to give this 85%. I think I'd probably do this. What about you?
I'm going to give it 100%. No, not 100. But 90%.
90%. So 90% from Ryland. It's really good. 90% from Ryland. 85% from me. But all I can say is if you're watching this M2G, please sort your tutorials out.
Add live and add subtitles.
Yeah, just add subtitles, just so we can understand what's going on. It'd be nice to get some live performances. Congratulations on updating the actual look of the explanations. Now, if you can just do this, that'd be perfect.
That's no V-shirt in the bag. That's no V-shirt in the bag. That's no V-shirt in the bag.
It is another review show in the bag. Thank you once again for joining us right here on Magic TV. Don't forget, we'll be back next Wednesday with another review show. Also, don't forget, if you want to follow Ryland, he is Ryland the Kid Magician on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you want to join the Netrix, which is my online streaming platform for magicians, you go to thenetrix.com.
Cookies!
I'll be back again next week with Ryland. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
We'll see you again. Take care. Bye, everyone.